What's the first thing you feel when you wake up in the morning? Is it the sound of birds outside your window? The gentle sunlight filtering through the curtains? Or is it something harder to describe? An uneasy feeling that you're entering a stage of life where your health could change overnight? I still remember that morning when I got a call from an old friend. She told me her husband, Richard, had just suffered a stroke, right in the middle of their Sunday breakfast. He was 68. He walked every morning. He went to all his checkups. No major diagnoses. But in just 3 minutes, everything changed. From being strong and independent to needing help with even the simplest tasks. She said something that I'll never forget. I just wish we had known these things earlier. That moment sparked something in me. I started researching. I spoke with neurologists, read studies from the Mayo Clinic, Harvard, and the American Heart Association, and I discovered something that truly surprised me. There are simple morning habits, just a few minutes each day, that can lower your risk of stroke by up to 80%. Habits that brain doctors themselves quietly follow each morning, yet rarely mention to their patients. Not because they're keeping secrets, but because, sometimes, we don't really listen until it's too late. Today, I want to share those habits with you, not as a dry checklist, but through real stories. Stories shaped by blood, tears, and the kind of wake-up calls none of us want to receive. If you're in your 60s, 65 or older, if you want to stay independent longer, stay sharp, and avoid unnecessary reliance on others, then this isn't just a video. This is a gentle, powerful reminder, just for you. So, tomorrow morning, can you give yourself just 2 minutes to protect the most vital part of your body? Join me on this journey, one small step at a time. Simple, science-backed, and potentially life-changing. I used to think that starting the day with a hot cup of coffee was the best thing in the world, a comforting habit, like I was fueling up for the whole morning. And I know a lot of people feel the same. For many folks over 65, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ritual, a way of feeling young, energized, and ready to take on the day. But I changed my mind after hearing the story of Mr. Thomas, a 71-year-old retired accountant from Nebraska. Every morning, just like clockwork, he'd wake up, get out of bed, and head straight to the kitchen to brew his coffee. No breakfast, no water. Coffee was the first thing that entered his body every single morning for decades. Until one day, while brushing his teeth, he had a mild stroke. He didn't collapse. He didn't lose his memory, but he lost his balance, felt dizzy, and had to be hospitalized for 3 days. Initial tests didn't show any obvious cause, but his neurologist discovered something critical. He was severely dehydrated every morning, especially after a long night's sleep. On top of that, the caffeine caused his blood vessels to constrict, creating the perfect conditions for a blood clot to form. That's when it hit me. The first thing you put into your body each morning can either protect you or quietly harm you. We all lose water while we sleep. It's a basic biological fact. But if you don't rehydrate properly in the morning, your blood thickens, your circulation slows, and the risk of a brain clot goes way up. The solution? It couldn't be simpler. Before your feet even touch the floor, drink a glass of warm water, around 16 ounces, with a few drops of lemon. Why warm water? Because cold water can make your blood vessels constrict suddenly, while warm water absorbs more easily. And the lemon? It's not just for taste. It can help clean your blood vessels and reduce mild inflammation. I've been doing this for 3 weeks now, and I've noticed something strange, but wonderful. My mind feels clearer, faster. My blood pressure stays steadier. And most importantly, I feel like I'm starting my day with a deliberate act of protection, not just a routine. Coffee can wait, but your brain's blood vessels can't. And in the next part, I'll show you something even easier. Just 60 seconds of gentle movement, right in bed. Enough to jumpstart blood flow to the brain and lower your risk of silent morning strokes. Let's keep going. Some mornings, I wake up and my mind feels foggy. Not because I didn't sleep enough, but because my body hasn't fully woken up yet. And for the longest time, I thought that was just part of getting older. Until I came across the story of Beverly, a 67-year-old woman living in Florida. Beverly is a careful, health-conscious person, but for a few months, she had been struggling with dizziness every morning. Some days, She had to sit on the edge of her bed for 15 minutes before she felt steady enough to stand. At first, she thought it was just her blood pressure, but all her numbers checked out fine. It wasn't until she saw a neurologist, a stroke specialist, that she found the real reason. Her brain wasn't getting enough blood flow in the morning due to her sleeping position and being still for too long overnight. It sounds simple, but this is something many people over 60 experience without realizing it. When you sleep in one position for 6 to 8 hours, especially if you sleep on your side or with your neck bent slightly forward, the blood vessels in your neck, which deliver blood to the brain, can become partially compressed. If you sit up too quickly, your body hasn't had time to adjust blood flow properly. This can lead to dizziness, imbalance, or even falls. And yes, it can increase your risk of stroke. The solution? Just 60 seconds. Beverly's doctor taught her a simple routine to do before getting out of bed, and I want to share it with you. As soon as you wake up, lie on your back and gently turn your head to the right. Hold for 5 seconds. Return to center. Then turn your head to the left. Hold for 5 seconds. Return to center. Tuck your chin slightly toward your chest. Hold for 5 seconds. Then tilt your head gently upward. Finish with 5 slow shoulder rolls backward. That's it. After just 2 weeks, Beverly's morning dizziness was gone. She told me something sweet. It feels like I'm unlocking my brain every morning. And the beautiful part is, these gentle movements don't just boost blood flow. They send a signal to your nervous system that the day is beginning. Sometimes, protecting yourself doesn't require something dramatic. You just need to slow down for 60 seconds and give your body a chance to catch up. In the next section, we'll talk about something deeply familiar to all of us, breakfast. But not the kind of breakfast you're probably used to. We're talking about the stroke-resistant breakfast that neurologists quietly recommend, and why some of your favorite morning foods might be silently harming the blood vessels in your brain every day. Let's keep going. I know this might sound strange, but breakfast, often called the most important meal of the day, could be silently damaging your brain's blood vessels if you're not eating the right foods. And here's the problem. A lot of people over 60 are still starting their mornings with foods they think are harmless, when in fact, these choices may be quietly triggering inflammation in the blood vessels. I think about Douglas, a 70-year-old man from Arizona. Every morning, like clockwork, he ate the same thing: a slice of white toast, a few strips of bacon, and a cup of coffee with cream. Nothing unusual, but also nothing particularly good for his heart or his brain. He was already on medication for high blood pressure, yet his numbers remained stubbornly high. Then one morning, he had a TIA, a mini-stroke. Thankfully, he recovered quickly, but that moment was a wake-up call. His neurologist told him it was time to completely rethink his breakfast. Why is breakfast so important? Because what you eat in the first 60 minutes after waking up sets the tone for your body's inflammatory response all day long. If you start your day with saturated fats, refined sugar, or white starches, your body goes into inflammation mode. And when your brain's blood vessels are inflamed too often, they become weaker, more prone to plaque buildup, and the risk of stroke increases. So what should you eat? Here's the stroke-resistant breakfast formula that many neurologists quietly recommend. A quarter cup of fresh or frozen blueberries helps improve the flexibility of blood vessels. Half a cup of plain Greek yogurt, packed with anti-inflammatory probiotics. 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds, high in omega-3s to reduce clot formation. A small handful of walnuts helps prevent blood platelets from sticking together. If you prefer something warm, a bowl of steel-cut oatmeal with cinnamon stabilizes blood sugar and eases pressure on blood vessels. Douglas followed this breakfast routine consistently for 6 weeks. The result? His blood pressure leveled out. His inflammation markers dropped by 31%. And most importantly, he said he felt sharper, lighter, and more energized throughout the day. You can't control every risk in life, but you can control the spoon in your hand each morning. So now, you've started your day with warm water, gentle movement, and a brain-friendly, anti-inflammatory breakfast. But there's one more thing, something small, simple, but crucial. It's also one of the earliest warning signs of stroke risk. Yet most people over 65 don't check it correctly. We'll explore that next. The most overlooked number that could save your life. When I was younger, I rarely thought about blood pressure. As long as I didn't feel dizzy, have chest pain, or feel short of breath, I figured everything was fine. Even when I started getting regular checkups, my blood pressure was only taken at the doctor's office, usually in the afternoon, after lunch and rest. But what I didn't know, what millions of older adults still don't know, is this. The timing of your blood pressure reading is just as important as the numbers themselves. I think of Nancy, a 73-year-old woman from Wisconsin. She went for regular checkups. Her doctor always said her blood pressure looked great. But one morning, while making tea, she suddenly felt dizzy, collapsed, and was rushed to the hospital. The diagnosis: a hemorrhagic stroke. No one could explain it at first. Her last blood pressure reading had been completely normal. Then a neurologist asked her to measure her blood pressure at home, first thing in the morning, right after waking up. And that's when they discovered something alarming. Between 6 and 8 a.m., Nancy's blood pressure was regularly spiking above 160. This is a phenomenon known as a morning surge. Why is this so dangerous? Because early morning is when your body naturally releases stress hormones like cortisol. Your blood vessels tighten. Your blood becomes more concentrated from overnight dehydration. And all of that creates a perfect storm for a stroke, especially if your blood pressure isn't controlled. In fact, most strokes occur before 10 a.m. But here's the good news. The solution is simple. Get a reliable home blood pressure monitor. Many accurate models cost around $30. Every morning, before eating, drinking, taking medication, or exercising, sit quietly for 3 minutes. Keep your arm level with your heart, and take 2 readings, 5 minutes apart. Write down the results. If your numbers are consistently above 135/85, talk to your doctor. You may need to adjust your medication, or the time you take it. Nancy followed this advice. Her doctor changed her blood pressure meds to the evening, and the morning surges disappeared. She told me, "I just wish I had known this a year earlier." Don't let a number you've never checked become the reason you lose your independence. Now, you've built a powerful morning routine to protect your brain. You hydrate, move gently, eat a stroke-resistant breakfast, and monitor your blood pressure the right way. But there's one last step, gentle, calming, and incredibly effective. It can relax the tension in your blood vessels in just 30 seconds. In the next section, I'll show you a simple breathing technique that neurologists call the prescription-free medicine. It lowers inflammation, boosts circulation to your brain, and all it takes is your breath. Here's something you might find surprising. Many neurologists, the very people who study strokes for a living, keep a small secret in their nightstand drawer. It's not medication. It's not fancy medical equipment. It's a few carefully chosen nutritional supplements, ones they trust deeply to help protect their brains every morning. I learned this during a conversation with Patricia, a 68-year-old woman from Maine. After her sister suffered a major stroke that left lasting damage, Patricia began to ask herself, "What can I do differently to protect myself?" So during a routine checkup, she asked her neurologist directly, "If you were in my shoes, what do you do every morning to help prevent this?" The doctor hesitated for a moment, then shared something he rarely tells patients. There are 4 supplements that he, and most of his colleagues, take every morning, not as a replacement for medicine, but as a kind of invisible shield for the brain. Here's that morning lineup. Omega-3, 1000 milligrams, rich in EPA and DHA. It helps keep blood vessels flexible and reduces inflammation. CoQ10, 100 milligrams, boosts energy production in brain and heart cells, especially important for those on statins. Curcumin with black pepper extract, 500 milligrams, helps clear blood vessels and reduce plaque formation. Magnesium L-threonate, 150 milligrams, the only form of magnesium shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and support cognitive circulation. These supplements don't replace your medications, but they act as a nutritional barrier that doctors use to proactively protect their own brain health. Patricia gave it a try. After 3 months, her blood inflammation markers had dropped noticeably. An ultrasound of her carotid artery showed less plaque buildup, and what she told me was powerful. What reassured me the most wasn't the numbers. It was the feeling that I was finally doing something to take care of one of the most precious parts of me, my brain. A quick reminder: always consult your doctor first, especially if you have existing health conditions or take heart medication. And for best absorption, take these supplements after your morning glass of warm water, about 30 minutes before breakfast. Sometimes, the simplest things are exactly what those who understand the body best, like doctors, choose for themselves every single day. So now you know. From that first glass of water, to gentle shoulder movements, a stroke-smart breakfast, early morning blood pressure checks, and a quiet handful of supplements. None of these are huge changes, but together, they can protect something incredibly valuable: your independence, your memory, your freedom, especially after age 65. And in the final section, I want to walk with you through this entire morning journey and share a few personal thoughts I believe you'll truly connect with. Because protecting your brain isn't just a doctor's job. It's something you can start doing tomorrow morning. We've just wrapped up what might seem like an ordinary morning, but in truth, it's the foundation for a stronger, healthier life ahead. Think about it. Every small habit we explored today, from drinking warm water right after waking up, to gentle shoulder rolls, making smart breakfast choices, checking your blood pressure at the right time, breathing with intention, or adding a few simple supplements. None of these require you to be a doctor or have a home gym. All it takes is 2 minutes and a bit of awareness, the belief that you're worth taking care of. Personally, I believe this. After age 60, what matters most isn't how many years you have left. It's the quality of the days you still have. The days where you feel clear-minded, steady on your feet, and independent in your choices. And to get there, you don't need to do anything dramatic. You just need to start tomorrow morning with a glass of water, a deep breath, a better choice for breakfast. If something in today's video felt helpful to you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Have you already been practicing one of these habits? Or maybe you're thinking of starting with just one. Let me know which one that is. And if you think this video could help someone you care about, especially someone over 65, please share it with them. You may not be able to save the world, but you can help someone you love live longer and live better. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss more practical, life-changing health tips made just for you.